97. We're almost to 100, you guys. Can you believe it? All right, so Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. These are only for what kind of triangles? Yeah, this is only works for a right triangle, okay? So you have to see the little box here that makes it a right triangle. A and B, it doesn't really matter which side is which for the legs. It does matter which side is C, okay? C has to be what side of the triangle? Yeah, we call this the hypotenuse, okay? Which is always opposite the right angle. Okay, hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. The other two legs don't really matter, so just make sure C is the hypotenuse, all right? So let's find the missing length. Which side is the C side in the formula? P. So we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For A, you can plug in 5 or 6. I'm going to plug in 5. For B, plug the other one in, so I'll plug in 6. And for C, you have to plug the hypotenuse side, P, in for C. Okay, now you also have to do squares next in the formula. Okay, what's 5 squared? And what is 6 squared? Great, okay. And we'll add those together. That would be 61. Okay, and we learned yesterday that you square root both sides to solve. Now, yesterday we learned that the answer is plus and minus 61, right? When you're solving algebraically. However, when you are doing geometry, we are talking about the length of a side. Can we have a negative length? No. So this one's only positive. A lot to remember. All right, so just make sure if it's geometry, we are talking about a length. So it's just square root of 61. Positive only. If it's just an algebra problem, do plus minus. Let's try another right triangle. So the most important thing is, can you identify the C side or the hypotenuse side? So everyone, which side is the C side? It is 15. It's opposite the right angle. All right, so we'll do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, for T and for 5, it doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. Those are the legs. So I'll do T squared plus 5 squared equals 15 squared. All right, and then square the numbers. So 5 squared is 25. 15 squared, is that 225? Make sure my brain's working. Okay. And then we're getting the t by itself, so we have to subtract the 25 from both sides. And so I get t squared equals 200. And then we square root both sides. And so t equals, I guess we could simplify this. 200 is 100 times 2. What is the square root of 100? So 10 root 2. Okay, the last one was not nice. Whatever we got, 61 doesn't like simplify. There's no perfect squares in there, okay? All right, so otherwise do simplify it if there is a perfect square. So here's some ones you could just memorize that actually do help. The main one, I highly, which ones are triples? Interesting, so not all of these are. Okay, only some of them are. So how could I actually check if something is a triple? Well, I could plug it into the Pythagorean theorem. 2 squared plus 3 squared equals 4 squared. How do I know 4 is the C side? It's the longest side. Yeah. Okay, so put the longest one there. See if it works. Okay, this would be 4 plus 9 equals 16. That does not work. This is not a triple. Okay, if I wanted to check this one, 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5. Oops, I just did that in my head. Equals 5 squared, which is 25. All right, so 9 plus 16 is 25. This is the one I would like 100% make sure that you memorize. The 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this is on the SAT every single year. They'll just throw it on. It helps that then you don't have to do Pythagorean theorem. It'll just make the test faster if you memorize the 3, 4, 5, okay? That one always works, okay? 4, 5, 6 does not work. Again, you could check it. 16 plus 25 equals 36. That does not work, okay? Now, if you know the 3, 4, 5, any multiple of this works. So notice 6, 8, 10. What did I do to get 6, 8, 10 from 3, 4, 5? Yeah, this one works, okay? It's the 3, 4, 5 times by 2. If you recognize that, it'll help on the SAT, okay? 9, 12, 15. So we could check all of these, and if they are Pythagorean triples, this one is, this one is, this one is. I don't think 9, 12, 15 is. Might have to check that one. All right, but those are some of the ones. If you memorize, it can be helpful, but you can always check. Yay, you guys are so much smarter than I am. Look, I just taught you something, and you taught me. Yay. Okay, good job. That's a multiple because you multiply by 3. Gosh, I love you guys. You're the best. All right, way to go. Okay, use the Pythagorean triples to find the missing side. Okay, if you just wrote that one down, the answer is, yeah, 5, 12, 13. Okay, so then if you have it memorized, look at that. Boom, 5, 12, 13. That's a magic one, okay? Now, if you don't know, you could just solve it. All right. 45 and 27. What are those both divisible by? 9. Let's say I divide this by 9. What does that equal to? 3. And I divide this by 9. What does that equal to? 5. So this is the 3, 4, 5 multiplied by 9. Yeah. So I just did the 3, 4, 5 all times by 9. Okay, so if you recognize that, yay. Otherwise, do Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Let's try another one and see if we get it. 15 and 39. What are those both divisible by?
3.
Let's try dividing by 3. Okay, this gives me 5. Okay, divide by 3. We get 13. So this one is the 5, 12, 13, all multiplied by 3. So G is 36. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like memorizing all of those is that helpful. The 3, 4, 5, I would definitely memorize for the SAT. If you happen to remember some of the other ones, that's great. Otherwise, just do Pythagorean theorem, okay? Pythagorean theorem always works, so just so you know. Let's try some whiteboards.